Avengers 5 is no longer going to be called Avengers the Kang Dynasty, and a lot of people are thinking that they're going to be shifting over to Doctor Doom now. This has been a major rumor lately, and I think it's 100% true, and I will explain. And it all starts with the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer. In that trailer, we saw a Secret Wars number 5 comic laying on the ground next to Deadpool, and this could be hinting that Marvel Studios is going to be shifting towards a more Doctor Doom-centric Avengers film for Avengers 5 and 6. Especially because we know the whole Jonathan Majors situation, and there's rumors of Kang being recast. And I think that recast is going to primarily affect Avengers 5, which is the Kang Dynasty. We've heard rumors that Coleman Domingo will end up playing the recast version of Kang, and that makes a lot of sense. He's a fantastic actor, I think he could do a great job, but I don't think he's playing the Kang that we're assuming. I think he's going to be playing the Beyonder. And we've heard a lot of rumors that Marvel is going to make the Beyonder Kang variant the main villain for Secret Wars. And this is going to be the prime version of Kang, most likely the Kang variant that's going to go over to the Council of Kangs and just wipe them all out. And this could easily be the villain for Avengers 5. You could have a big multiversal war going up against the Beyonder, and I think it would be glorious. It also helps to shift away all of the negative attention that Marvel has been getting because of the Jonathan Majors situation. You can just have Coleman Domingo come in, wipe out all of the Kang variants, and then you don't have to worry about any backlash about that situation now because the focus will be on the Beyonder. And how is this going to lead into Avengers 6? Well, I'll tell you. And it comes back to Doctor Doom, because I don't think Doctor Doom is going to be a villain right off the get-go in the MCU. I think he's going to be a friend of Reed's, but they're obviously going to have different ideologies. But I think Doctor Doom will be on the side of the heroes. They're going to try to rescue the multiverse, basically, from the Beyonders, so I don't think Victor Von Doom is going to be a supervillain right away. But he will have the character traits of a villain, and I think by the end of Secret Wars, he's going to get very selfish and take the Beyonder's power for himself. Which is exactly what happened in the Hickman run for Secret Wars, because he actually ended up taking the power from the Beyonders in that comic, and that's what made him create Battleworld, and that's where he became God Emperor Doom. Then that could set him up to be the big bad of another saga in the MCU after the Multiverse Saga. So basically, I think the new name for Avengers 5 is going to be Secret Wars Part 1, and then Avengers 6 will be Part 2. I think it just makes a lot of sense, and there was some reports a few weeks ago basically saying this exact thing. There was also reports saying that it was going to be like this big 5-6 hour event that was going to be split into 2 parts, which definitely plays into this theory. Now this is how I think these 2 movies are going to go. Secret Wars Part 1 will be all about the Beyonder basically wiping out the Council of Kangs and having all of the heroes become aware of the situation and that they're going to be going into a multiversal war. I think there's going to be a lot of different universes in this movie, and there's going to have a heavy TVA influence, basically assembling a multiversal Avengers. And I think the Beyonder will end up getting a supervillain team to basically try to stop the heroes from what he's trying to do. And we've also heard a lot of rumors that Marvel is going to be bringing back some villains. We've heard of names like Ultron and Thanos. And it would be so cool to bring back multiversal variants of villains from the main MCU. That would be so cool. Maybe we get like King Thanos and then more comic book accurate looking Ultron. That would be really, really cool. And something similar to this happened in the original Secret Wars comic. Basically, the Beyonder plucked a bunch of villains and put them in the same spot as the heroes, which he could technically just do again in Secret Wars Part 1. But use them to try to stop the heroes. I think that would be such a great idea. Then Secret Wars Part 1 can end with the Beyonder forming Battleworld, which is going to just be amazing to see in Part 2. And Secret Wars Part 2 would easily be the biggest movie of all time. We're talking like every Marvel character that's ever been created could possibly pop up in this movie. There is no limitations whatsoever for this film. So you could essentially have the Beyonder forming Battleworld and then all of the heroes slowly realizing what's happened, because in the comic book, basically they have amnesia, they can't really remember what's happened, and then there's a few heroes that do remember the old world and basically try to wake up other people and help them in reversing what just happened. So you can have the Beyonder forming Battleworld and just having it basically be almost like an alternate reality, but then some heroes slowly try to figure out what's happened and that they remember the old world before Battleworld. Then they can try to stop the Beyonder, and then by the end of the movie, I think Doctor Doom is going to be very selfish and take the Beyonder's power for himself, and then rebooting the MCU, which we know has been a major rumor going around that after Secret Wars, Marvel is going to have a soft reboot of their universe. And this is a perfect way to do it. Imagine the last shot of Secret Wars Part 2 is God Emperor Doom resetting the MCU, setting himself up as the leader of Latveria, and just rebuilding the multiverse in whatever way he sees fit. He could look at Reed and just turn evil and be like, I know what I must do, and then just rebuilds the multiverse the way that he wants it. This could easily set up Doctor Doom as the main bad guy for the next saga. You could call it the Doom Saga. And it would just be so badass and just very similar to the comics, but a little bit different, because at the end of the Secret Wars comics, it was Reed Richards who basically rebuilds the multiverse, and in the movies, you could have it be Doctor Doom. Then he creates a rebooted MCU with the mutants, Fantastic Four, Avengers, new actors for roles like Iron Man, etc. It would be perfect, and I hope that's what they're doing, because as I was making this video, I got more and more excited about the possibility of something like this happening. And at the end of Secret Wars, Reed Richards actually heals Doctor Doom's face. So what if Doctor Doom himself just heals his face, and then we know that they're obviously going to get a big-name actor to play this role, and they're obviously not going to want to wear a metal mask the whole time, so let's say they get someone like Cillian Murphy. I think he would want to play the character even more if he actually gets to have his face in the movies. If the ending of Secret Wars Part 2 showcases the new rebooted universe and Doctor Doom with a healed face, it is going to be a fantastic ending. But anyways, guys, let me know down below what you think about all of this. What do you think Avengers 5 is going to be called? Do you think it's going to be split into Part 1 and Part 2 like I do? And what do you think about this theory that I have that the Beyonder is going to be the main villain for Secret Wars Part 1 and 2, but then Doctor Doom is going to turn evil by the end of Part 2, take the power for himself, reboot the universe just like all the reports are saying? And the coldest ending of all time would be like a zoom-in shot, like a slow zoom-in shot to God Emperor Doom, and then we just see like the hood come off, his face is healed, and it's Cillian Murphy. Oh my god. I hope something like this happens, but let me know your thoughts down below.